Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Ringo TV Reactions. I'm your host, Ringo. We're back again with another one. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. What we're talking about today, ladies and gentlemen, is how to have a great relationship. How to have a great relationship between a man and a woman. Now, the first thing you have to understand, great relationships are grown. Great relationships are cultivated. It is not something that, you just kind of just go walk into and they just blossom overnight. Everything we do in life requires work. If we're on a construction site and I'm doing my job fixing this and this person is doing that, but you're sitting here not doing anything, then we're not going to be able to accomplish nothing because you're not doing your part. You see what I mean? So in a relationship, all parties must be actively working towards the goal of the relationship. The man have to do his part. The woman got to do her part. We cannot be selfish. We cannot be thinking about, well, what about me, what I want, and all this other stuff. It's okay to have needs and desires, but the way the relationship dynamic truly works is when you come in it with the mindset of serving, which means I'm going to do my part regardless what's going on. I'm going to make sure and do my part to the best of my abilities. At the same time, your partner got to be doing their part to the best of their abilities. Now, as you would know, anytime somebody take off from work, certain jobs are not getting done. In a relationship, there are no days off. Everybody must be doing their part at all times. If you take a day off and figure, well, I don't feel like being good to my partner. I don't feel like taking care of the house. I don't feel like going to work. I don't feel like cleaning. I don't feel like cooking. I just want to be lazy and slothful. Then problems will develop. You understand? You have to be willing to put in the work. Companies are not established unless people put in the work. That's the only way. So how is it that we can go through life knowing that major corporations, major businesses, major companies are developed and thrive due to hard work, but when it comes to a relationship, we don't feel it is necessary to work. We don't feel it's necessary to serve one another. We don't feel it's necessary to put in the time and the long hours. We don't feel necessary to go to the extra mile. When you're in a relationship, when you are building a successful relationship, you have to put in the time. You got to put in the long hours. You got to have a lot of communication. That's how it works. Relationships just don't happen overnight. Just like a business, a successful multi-million-dollar business, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes work. Come on now. You got to apply the same principles because these principles are laws. A law is an established principle. Anybody that get involved with it, it'll work for them. You understand? If you go underwater and hold your breath, right? Eventually, you will need to breathe. And you will die because you will drown. Do you understand? Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter your background, ethnicity, color, white, black, skinny, fat, tall, short. If you go underwater with no scuba diving gear, you will die eventually, right? If you go on top of a building, the law of gravity doesn't respect anyone. It's no respect of persons. If you get involved with it and you start to practice it, it'll work every single time. You step over the edge of that building, you're going straight down. It doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter if you're white, black, tall, skinny, fat, short, small. It doesn't matter. You will fall and you will die. Why? Because a law is an established principle. It's an established principle. Whatever goes up must come down. That's just the way it is. So when you get into a relationship, one of the laws is that you must serve the other person. You must do that. That's the only way things will work. If you go into the relationship with an attitude, well, I don't feel like doing this. Well, you upset me, so I'm mad. Well, I am not doing this and I don't care. Then guess what? The relationships stop growing. It's like being on an elevator. You're going up and you hit the emergency stop and the elevator stops and now we got to wait till you decide to click that button again. And what's so sad about dating and relationships in today's day is that a lot of us hold back each other. Meaning, you could be in a relationship where you're making progress and then you get lazy and now you don't feel like working. So what you do is when you stop working, it holds back the entire group, the entire family, the entire job site. All work get held back because of you. Do you understand me? That is not what we want. You cannot have a successful relationship if you're holding everybody back. So it takes work. It takes dedication. It takes time to get to know why you're even in this relationship. Why do you want to be in a relationship? Are you in a relationship because you just want to have sex? Are you in a relationship because you want to have children? Are you in a relationship because you really want to be with this person and see how far life can go and see your family grow and prosper and be successful? Like, you have to really know what exactly you're in this thing for. And you have to invest in it. You got to give it your all. You cannot take any shortcuts. Both parties must be doing their job. If you have a selfish attitude, the relationship is going to fail. You got to be a selfless person. No different than when you're having sex as a man. When you are pleasing the woman, you know at that moment it is not about you. It is about you giving for this woman and she's receiving from you. Likewise, as a woman, when you're being sexual with your man, you are giving to him your very best. He's receiving your very best. You can't be selfish, because if you're selfish, you're not going to want to give your very best. You're going to be mediocre. You're going to be slothful. You're going to be sloppy, right? And guess what? He will notice that you're not putting in your very best. Your woman will notice you're not putting in your very best. See, in the sexual department, we can understand this because that's as far as our relationships go. But I'm trying to make y'all all understand that when it comes to having a successful relationship, this got to be implemented in all areas of the relationship. In your finances, in your health, in your sex life, in your children's lives. You have to implement all of these details, all the information, all the tips and tricks into all the areas. In your finances, you have to be willing to budget. You have to be willing to save. You have to be willing to pay your bills on time. You have to begin to find out, well, why is it that we're paying too much on our light bill? And is there any way we can reduce the cost? Is there any way we could reduce the cost on our water bill, our sewage bill, and our trash bill? Like, why my water bill is so high? Well, there's many factors that it could be high. It could be that you have something running. Maybe there's a water line that is leaking. Maybe your refrigerator has an issue and the ice dispenser or something is wrong and it's drawing in water and causing all sorts of problems. There's many different things that can solve all those things. So you're going to have to use some deductive reasoning skills to get rid of the problems that don't make no sense and hone in on what makes sense. You know what I mean? And you have to do this in all areas of your life in order to get rid of the problems as well as solve the problems. That's what really a relationship is all about, solving problems. You know what I mean? Not creating problems, but solving the problems together, talking them out, making sense of everything, figuring things out. That way you better understand one another. That way there's less friction, less arguments, because why? We talked about our problems. You understand? So again, being a servant to one another is very important. Understanding each other is very important. Doing your part. If my job as a man is to provide, I have no excuse. I have to do what I am commissioned to do. So I cannot be lazy. This is something I must do, and I'm going to do it. So if your man is committed to doing his part, you as a woman should be committed to making sure that he eats, that there's food on the table, that the house is clean. If he's out and about working, then he should not be dealing with any of the stress of you not maintaining your body, not maintaining your personal hygiene, not providing no loving. You're not cooking for him. You're not cleaning the house. You're not washing no clothes. But he's doing his part consistently. That right there is a false balance. That's an abomination in the relationship. That's abuse. Because if he's doing his part and you're not doing your part, you're abusing, you're depriving that man of what is rightfully his. No different than if the role was reversed and you're doing all the household duties, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing all this stuff, but he don't want to work. He don't want to do anything. He just want to sit on his butt and collect food stamps and watch you go to work. That is going to cause more frustration than you, because you're at work doing all of that, and then you coming home to cook and clean. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be like, look, enough is enough. I need for you to take up your load and your slack so that we can actually balance out the load of this family. Because at the end of the day, you got to get your kids to the next level. So if we don't have the mindset of being a servant to one another in regards to biblical principles, which is another video I'm going to have to make regarding the Bible, because no relationship is going to truly work unless we're using biblical principles, right? Because most of the marriages that do work in today's day is because people take things from the Bible and they apply them in their relationships. And that's how their relationships is able to thrive. Whether someone's a believer or unbeliever, it doesn't matter. If they're applying, again, a principle from the Bible, which is a law, they will have results no matter who they are. It is what it is. If you jump in and you apply biblical knowledge to a relationship, the relationship have to work because both parties is doing their job. So we're going to talk about these things in more videos. I want y'all to be encouraged and understand that having a successful relationship is very possible. The problem, like I said, is people come to the relationships with their superficial ideology. They come in there with a laundry list of things of what they want. They are focused on things that makes no sense. And when you have people that are doing this, you're going to have a lot of problems. You're going to have a lot of stress, a lot of issues, and you're not going to be able to truly build with one another because you're going to be too busy being selfish. And there's a lot of people that are just so selfish in today's day that it's impossible to have a relationship because everybody's thinking about themselves in terms of what they can get from someone rather than what they can give someone. You know, you got to give the best that you got. You know what I mean? You have to give your all. No different than when you're in sports, the coach, the team, they're expecting you to give the very best. In everything you do, we require your very best. Same thing in a relationship, guys. So we're going to get up on out of here. Y'all stay safe. It is what it is. I'm going to do more videos like this. Let me know if you like these videos, and I'll do way more. So it is what it is. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm out of here. Peace.